Ron and Mike have known each other for over 30 years, but really partnered in the 90s. They came together to build a growth strategy for Nationwide and the management team. You know, it was this strategy and foundation of building the business that led them to acquire Parlec and then Century Mold.
When Nationwide Precision was sold, they went on to their third careers, and Mike went into Parlec. And about the same time, the original owners of Century Mold, Jim Merck and Jim Brazil, were interested in a retirement succession kind of plan. And Ron was able to rekindle those old relationships, and he and Mike bought Century Mold. And really took a fairly big risk because they were well positioned out of the Nationwide sale, but decided to go on and make another career in building Century Mold and continuing to build Parlec.
As the commercial bank for Nationwide, we had familiarity with both Mike and Ron. We had the opportunity to see both of these individuals lead and manage their respective areas in the business. When Ron and Mike acquired Century Mold, the company was undercapitalized and needed certainly some financial support. But I think it's because of our faith in both individuals that was what was the leading factor in us being part of their continued success throughout the years.
Prior to the recession, the North American production build was roughly 16 million units. In 2009, it dropped to 8.5 units. And if you want to ask me how we got out of it, it was Ron's leadership, his reputation as an honest guy, his ethics, and whether it be our vendors, our customers, or our banking partners, they all had faith in Ron.
The companies have exploded during their leadership, and today Parlec Century Mold has grown to 8 worldwide locations with 1,000 employees and revenue approaching $200 million annually. It's pretty remarkable.
What Century Mold is really about is metal to plastics conversion. With the new fuel standards, as well as trying to reduce the cost of a vehicle, parts that were traditionally made out of metal, heavier and more expensive, what Century Mold was able to do was convert them to plastic. One of our parts is on at least 75% of the vehicles that are manufactured in North America. So it's a really good bet that if you were to drive home tonight, more than one of our parts is in your car.
Mike and Ron have always expected their highest level of integrity from their team and companies, no question about it. They understand that relationships are key at every level to be successful, and with that being said, they have always expected the highest standards from their employees, as well as be accountable for their actions. That is very important.
Mike was involved in the creation of Unity Health System, and over that 20 years took on increasingly more responsibility. And in the last 4 years, before we created Rochester Regional Health, Mike was the chairman of the board. Mike inspires people to excel, I think, basically by his style. That you believe that he is thinking about the best interest of the organization. He's thinking about the best interest of people, and he's thinking about the best interest of the community.
And if I were to try to summarize Ron as a leader, I would say Ron's figured out how to balance his incredible business acumen with a heart that's equally as big. And certainly, it doesn't hurt that Ron has a calculator in his head. If we were all blessed with his mathematical prowess, the calculator never would have had to have been invented.
Ron and Mike are a terrific choice for the Rochester Business Hall of Fame. They epitomize the ability to take what's really a mature industry, to take manufacturing, which is much harder to sustain these days, and actually make it work in Rochester in a very exciting way, to build a company, to build innovation into a mature company, and to add on whatever it needs to help move the community forward.